Hey, I got to recap this SoulCon disaster battle. I've probably never done a recap of a battle, but I felt this one might be necessary. Wow. Yeah, I laid down $50 mainly to watch Dizaster and SoulCon, but the whole card was crazy. Everything on it was phenomenal. Battle of the weekend probably is Big K and Mad Flex. Lot of good stuff, but I gotta say, SoulCon, my goodness. I represent the same people SoulCon fights for: immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers. I fight for them too. Also, I mean, I'm all about Bernie 2020. Um, you know, I was really hoping SoulCon would use the platform to vociferously get the ideas that I believe in out there, and I thought he would be the perfect vessel for that. Especially the way he was so aggressive throughout his short career in battle rap. I thought his style of constant just lines and jokes and bars and just constantly going at you for minutes at a time. I thought that was gonna be great. Uh, I did think going against Dizaster was probably not the best idea for your first battle back in years. I mean, I'm not the biggest Dizaster fan as far as content, but I mean, I mean, he's a freaking legend. I mean, what can you say? I have to say this. One thing happened last night that I did not think possible. Dizaster may have gone from heel to babyface in my book. His third round, talking about his Drew's background and his family history, really spoke to me. It really hit with me. And I like to cheer against Dizaster. I'm just not gonna lie. I like to cheer against him. I'm always looking for somebody to beat him, and I am frequently disappointed because the guy is ridiculous. He's ferocious and he prepares. He takes it seriously, and I guess that's what I'm so disappointed about is that I don't feel like SoulCon prepared and took it seriously. I feel like I could have done that. I mean, I feel like a lot of people could have gone off the street and gone in there and just spit rhymes. Now, I'll say this: the second round, Dizaster ripping the folder out of his hand and ripping it up, that was messed up. That was unprofessional. That wasn't right. But SoulCon was lost in the first round, though. I mean, that second round, and matter of fact, Dizaster was actually being extremely respectful throughout the. Aside from that folder grabbing thing, I felt like Dizaster was actually extremely respectful by letting the man spit, letting SoulCon talk. Because there were stretches where SoulCon wasn't even rhyming. It seemed like he was freestyling, and sometimes the rhymes weren't hitting. A couple of freestyles landed, and that's what was, again, it was like opportunity missed, opportunity lost, because SoulCon clearly had some angles that he could have used. Even if you don't agree with certain angles, I mean, there were good ideas there. There were good ideas there that he could have, I mean, bars and delivery, man, bars and delivery. His delivery wasn't what it should have been, and his preparation didn't seem like it was what it should have been. Um, if SoulCon's goal was to prove that you can win in battle rap without using the F word and without demeaning people, he did not prove that last night. He did not prove that. And I got to go to work. I'm about to walk in, but I had to take a couple minutes to say that was a clean body by any stretch. Nobody can dispute that Dizaster won every single round. And I agree with the content SoulCon had. I agree with his content uh, more than I agreed with Dizaster's content. But uh, man, what can I say? SoulCon might not ever get booked again after that. I don't even know if another promoter will want to mess with him because they're going to be worried that he's going to come and be unprepared or whatever you call that. I'm sure it was very therapeutic, but there are other ways to pull that off. If you are one of the great essay writers of all time and you enter an essay writing contest and you refuse to follow the norms of the essay writing community, you decide to write your essays in haiku, I mean, you're gonna lose. Like and you're gonna embarrass the people who are pulling for you. Um, I mean, I don't I don't know what the number one goal was there. I mean, you got your ideas out, but the manner that you got them out there, I don't think you helped yourself or your cause. I mean, Frack said, "I hope this doesn't cost Bernie the election." I mean, that's kind of how I felt. I was like, man, I mean, you kind of those of us who are labeled social justice warriors and leftists and all these other weird things that we're being called these days during this administration. You did not help us. You did not. We were looking for a lion to go in there and fight against Dizaster and what he represented, even though if it was unfair that he represented those things, because Dizaster actually said during the battle he actually likes Bernie. So unfortunately, Dizaster might have even pulled that chair out from under us if he if you went too hard on Bernie. Maybe that was Dizaster's plan. Like, hey man, I actually like the guy. I don't like Trump anyway. Or something like that. Who knows what he was going to say? But he didn't have to go there. He was able to just be the normal Dizaster, which is ferocious delivery, aggression, animation, controlling the room, and he had that without his legendary status. He has all of those skills, and then you add on to the fact that he has this aura about him in Oakland. I mean, you had to know that going in. You asked for this. Like you asked to rap battle against a legend, and it didn't seem like you were fully prepared for that. Uh, I don't know what to say. Dizaster, hey, did his thing as usual. I would like to take this time to point out all the times I felt Dizaster lost, just to make myself feel better. But what can I say? I mean, I would guess if Dizaster does a blog or interview or something like that about it, I would guess that he probably was not 100% pleased with the outcome. I imagine Dizaster, because he loves battle rap and he loves the culture, I imagine in his heart of hearts he was really hoping for some epic like Iron Solomon type battle, which is what I was expecting. Actually, I was expecting like Iron Solomon Part 2, just like two beasts going back and forth, style conflict, content conflict. And I'll bet you that Dizaster wanted that, because that's how he approached it. When he was rapping, you could tell that's what Dizaster was prepared for. He was prepared for 3 rounds of war, and Solcon wasn't. So hey, I'll still support Solcon because I support his content. I support what he said. I support the whole respecting people, not trashing them, not using the other F word, not using the N word. Hey, that was a great line. You dropping N bombs, but you don't have the passcodes or what have you. That was great. He had a lot of fire lines intermingled throughout like an hour of spitting, but a lot of it seemed like he was freestyling. Like it wasn't well prepared and it wasn't intricate. So a lot of the stuff was not as intricate as you would like in 2019 rap battles. I mean, look, I don't think this is controversial to say. I think most everybody on that card for the past 2 days would have beaten Solcon with their preparation, their bars, and their delivery. I don't think there's a single person that would have lost to Solcon this weekend. And I watched pretty much all of them. I'll take that back. Maybe, if there were a couple people that choked, I'm not going to name names because I think that's disrespectful. There were a couple people that choked this weekend, but I mean, Solcon seemed like he choked. I mean, those long pauses that he took, he would have got booed off the stage in a lot of venues with those long pauses and those apparent what seemed to be chokes. So, yeah, I don't think there's a single person that Solcon would have beat this weekend if he would have went head to head. And so choosing Dizaster of all people, yeah. Anyway, I'm still Bernie, Bernie 2020, just like we were in 2016. But I hope Solcon can rebound from this and represent a little bit better next time if he gets another chance. All right.